excited to show you a color wheel, and I know color wheel is like, woo, can't wait, yay, I know. Here's the thing, when I first started painting, nobody really talked to me about the color wheel and the value of it. So I'm going to talk to you guys today about 3 of the color theories. There are more, but these are probably the ones that every beginner begins with, and they don't even know it. So we're going to talk about them, and that way you can get to know it and why you do it. So once you understand why and the how, then you can kind of like start breaking the rules a little bit and develop something that's all your own, or find your own flavor, or at least know what you're looking at when you see somebody else's piece of art. Okay? So the first one that we're going to cover is the complementary color scheme. And the complementary color scheme is where you have a color on the opposite side of the color wheel. So if you break it down, it's basically like looking at reds and greens, yellows and purples, blues and oranges. When to use the complementary color scheme. Now this depends on what kind of mood you want to set. So if you want something to be very vibrant and exciting and just pop out at you, that's when you want to use a complementary color. So for example, in these I have a pop art pet where the primary color is like an orangey red, and then I complemented that with a blue, and that really made the dog pop out. I've also got an emu here, emu with blues and oranges that really made him kind of pop out and look like he's really in dire need of coffee. And that was kind of the look I wanted to go to, because emus have that kind of attitude, like in your face attitude, and that was the attitude I wanted to portray. You also have horse laugh. That's another painting that I did where I really wanted the subject to just really kind of pop out, catch your attention, like a horse who laughs at you actually would. So that's why I pick a complementary color scheme, is when I want things to really pop out and be exaggerated in their emotion. The value of knowing your complementary colors and knowing your color wheel is that you're able to select the opposite color really well to create a subdued color. So for example, in this painting I have rocks. And let me tell you, there are 3 subjects that are really hard to paint. That's rocks, clouds, and people. So in this painting of rocks, I actually used nothing but complementary colors and combined those 2 colors along with white to really create every one of these grays, and what's also known as mud. When you start to pull complementary colors and then bring them together in equal parts, it effectively creates a gray or a very, very neutral tone. If you take a little bit of, say, orange and combine that with a big pile of green, then that's going to create a very nice kind of olive colored green, something that we actually see more in nature than you would in, say, like cartoon characters. Cartoon characters, you're using pure color. In nature, you're going to find a mixture of complementary colors to create that subdued look. The key, and I'll go back to this before, and I've said this in another video about your oil paint supplies, invest in quality pigment. And again, I use Gamblin. I don't get paid to say that. I use Gamblin because it's very good quality paint and consistent. The next one that I use is called the analogous color scheme. The analogous color scheme is where it's the colors along the same side of color wheels. So if you think about colors, we're talking about families of colors. And so if I'm going to be in the red family, that's one analogous painting. I'm going to be in the yellow family, blue family, maybe even green family, the purple family. You see what I'm saying there. You're staying in that same family. So in these examples of an analogous color scheme, what I'm doing and trying to create is a mood of calm, serenity, something that's relaxing. Here you can see like my analogous painting of a blue sky and ocean at night. It's very calm, serene, and that's really just using 3 colors as well. The dog, his name is Buck. He's a seizure detection dog. The owner of the dog told me they wanted coral. That was the colors that they had in their home. When I thought about this dog, I knew I had to pick the same colors on the same side of the color wheel because the dog was so calm. The household was calm. And he had to be, because he was a seizure detection dog. In the last painting, the one of the little dog holding the cup, that one I wanted to be calm too, because he was a little puppy. He was very thoughtful. And when I think about a puppy, most of the time they're very energetic, they're playful, they're doing all this stuff. Well, this one was very calm and just looked at you like he knew the world was his oyster and he owned it. And he was calm and relaxed because of that. So it was interesting. And so because of that, I wanted calm, soothing colors all around him. And so as you can see, when you choose analogous colors, you're creating a calm and peaceful scene. The third color scheme that I use, and a lot of beginners use, is called split complementary color scheme. And this one you'll probably use and you won't even realize it. So what this is you're using one color and then two colors on the opposite side of the color wheel. So in addition to the base color, that first color, you're using two colors that are adjacent and complement that primary color. Here's one example of one that I did called Happy Hour. And what I was wanting to portray with this one is not only have him kind of pop out, the sloth pop out, but I wanted the expression and how calm and serene he is. But as you can see, I used some browns that were on his face and then complemented that with the blue sky and the green. And because as you know, sloths, they move so slow that the moss actually grows on them. So I really wanted to call that out, but I still wanted him to be nice and calm. So by playing with the complementary colors on one side and keeping an accent color on the other side, it really created that calm but popping method that I wanted. In my videos, I'm actually going to tell you which color theory we're going to be using so that you can kind of get used to the language. Speaking of language and terminology, I've included a download that talks about some of the terms that you'll frequently hear, and then even some terms that you don't really hear a lot. And I kind of hope simplify to understand when you hear this term, what does it really mean?